Welcome to Tell It Right Podcast. It is episode 85. Welcome, everybody. How the f*** you and Jared? You doing?
I'm doing.
Well, that's fucking awesome. Because you want to know something?
What's that?
We're the podcast that never fucking quits, baby.
Didn't we say this before?
Yeah, no, that's our theme.
That's our motto?
That's our motto, yeah. I mean, we don't quit. That's how we're going to sell ourselves to people. Like, when they're like, oh, yeah, you got a podcast? How many episodes you got? You can be like, well, right now we got 85. We just don't quit. We have 85 with very low viewership, but we don't quit. We don't fucking quit. So
we don't know when to quit.
That too. But yeah, dude, what a fucking week, man. It's finally gotten cold.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting closer to Halloween.
Yeah.
It's coming up. And that's going to be our next podcast here. We're going to be talking about all Halloween videos on that next one.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get this day started, everybody, thank you again for your support. Make sure you're checking out www.tellitrightpodcast.com. Check out our blogs. Check out our merch. That's also where our announcements will be if we have announcements. But, yeah, check out the merch page. We got good shit up there, and we'd love it if you purchased it for yourself. We think you'd look great in it. So there's all that to look forward to. But yeah. Anything you got to add here, Jared? How's the 3D printing coming? How's the builds? How's your goal?
It's a lot. Piece by piece, it's coming together.
Mm-hmm.
But, some things sometimes they just don't work out. Like, I made a big sword, and I wanted it to be like, a big sword. So,
Not a chode sword.
Yeah, and I didn't want it to be a chode, but I wanted it to be wide, so it looked, the part, like a Conan the Barbarian sword. So I was like, I'm going to make this thing like 4 inches wide, like the blade. So I sized everything up, and I went off the blade, and then I realized that after I started printing the blade, that all looked fine. But then realized that the bottom half, where like the hand guard and the actual handle was ginormous. And yeah, so it ended up being like 5 feet tall.
Oh God!
But there's hits and misses. I mean, it's still gonna look cool, but it's not something that I'm gonna like carry around with me at a Comic-Con.
You know what? Actually, we'll post that on www.tellitrightpodcast.com on the merch page. Jared, we'll talk about pricing, but yeah, that's going to be up there if you guys want that.
You want to buy a big
if you guys need a 5-foot sword. But I think we're going to have to if it's a 5-foot sword, we're going to have to do something about shipping. We're going to have to come together on that one. I don't know. We're going to need a freight truck to get that to you with a
buy
crane.
My 5-foot sword. I mean, it doesn't weigh a ton or anything, but you get that oversized package costs.
Oh yeah,
it's like shipping a weed whacker.
Fuck yeah, dude. They're actually called string trimmers.
Whatever.
Believe it or not, Jared, they're called string trimmers.
I don't believe it.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. Fuck. I thought he'd believe it. I thought he'd buy it. Wow. That's great, Jared.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll start seeing some more of your 3D prints here. We'll be sharing those.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, we'll start sharing that stuff on Tell It Right podcast here in the coming future. So that'd be a good spot. Show that we'll give Jared his own spot. Jared's cosplay.
Yeah, the cosplay corner.
Yeah, exactly. That is definitely something we can add up there. But yeah, let's get the show started, Jared. We got some TikToks that we're just gonna jump right into today.
Mm-hmm.
These are some good ones. I got three good ones here.
Let's see it.
So I'm gonna start with this first one. I know it says part 4, but I don't think you really need to see the other parts. This is fucking ridiculous. So this is gonna be one of those like, those daytime judge shows.
Yeah.
People go and sue each other for monies, but it's not even a real court. It's just what do they call that? Banana court or something like that. Yeah, I just lost my camera. Good thing we didn't really get anywhere. Can you see me, Jared? Am I still here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're like looking under you.
Yeah, I know the camera went out. I don't know. We're done with that camera, so it's not going to be HD mic tonight. It's going to be shitty standard mic, whatever. Shitty standard mic at your service. But yeah, so it's just one of those daytime court shows that are just bullshit. So, but I thought this was fucking hilarious because it's fake as fuck.
Let's see.
Look what he did to me, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. I can't take my eyes off of him.
He did this to me. It's his fault.
I did not intentionally do anything to you. I did what you asked me to do.
He's the expert. He's owned this salon for over 26 years.
Mr. King, you are still unwilling to take responsibility for this. Look at her head.
Your Honor.
He did this to me, Your Honor.
Wait just a second. May I speak, Your Honor?
You are wrong.
Lucinda,
This is your fault, and you caused me to look like this.
I didn't do this on purpose.
I went to him
Your
to
Honor,
pay for him to do my hair correctly.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor.
And this is what I come out
Your
like.
Honor. Can I speak, please?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
I want to know why this is not your fault.
I'm going to tell you the bottom line of it. As the timer went off, my shampoo stylist went up to Miss Jackson that was on her phone, and she said, "It's time to rinse your hair." I'm on the phone. I'll be with you in just a minute. Okay. She stood there for a couple of seconds, looked at me, got my attention, and she went to her again and said, "Miss Jackson, now."
So she wouldn't get off the phone.
So I walk over to her.
Yeah, right.
And I said, "Lucinda, now." She goes, puts her hand in my face.
Your Honor.
And
Your
I
Honor.
said, "No, ma'am."
I went to the
And
bathroom.
she goes,
I don't even
go to the bathroom. So she runs to the bathroom.
I went to the bathroom. I
Miss
closed the
Jackson.
door behind me.
Tell me what's going on. I mean, if you're interfering with the process, it makes it very hard
Your
for me
Honor,
to find in your favor.
He never mentioned anything about washing anything out. And if he was so...
Anyways, they don't come to a judgment at the end of this. But, so just so everybody knows, what you were just listening to was, again, one of those daytime court shows. This chick has, like, a melted head. She has no hair on top, and she's got, like, some gashes and then, like, little strands of hair, like a mullet almost, but not, like, a full mullet. It's clearly, like, a bald cap. I mean, like, and two, like, it looks like for what, apparently her hair got burned off or something from when she was at a stylist, getting, like, shampooed or her hair bleached or something, or did,
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you look at her head, it looks too smooth to be damaged, it would be irritated, it would be red all over the place. They got those gashes in there. It looks pretty fucking, at first you're kind of like, oh, what the fuck happened? But then, like, yeah, you really focus on this, and it's a fucking bald cap.
Well, here's the first thing, though.
Well, you're right. That's what I was going to get into. I think that what you're about to say. But, yeah.
So, by the time this would have actually gotten to court, her hair would have been growing back.
Oh, probably.
You would not...
Oh, I get what you're saying.
It's not like this happened yesterday, and you get to go to court the next day over an issue, and you're still bloody and everything on your head. No, I'm sorry. You know how long it takes for anything to even get into a courtroom, even on a TV courtroom.
But you know what I mean? These TV courts are, though, right? That's what I thought.
Claims court shit.
No, it really isn't. I thought that's what you were gonna get at. What these are, they're just purely entertainment. They're not people that are actually trying to settle their fucking claims. Maybe
it is 100% fake.
Right? Yeah, it is 100%. There's I can't think of the comedian's name. He was great. He used to do these things where he'd go on like Twitter and he'd make a fake account or Facebook of like some corporation, and then he would just like be like the rudest person representing them, and then like people would from that company would be like, "We don't know who you are" or something, or he'd pretend to be like pretend to be journalists trying to get a story on like somebody who's like in the spotlight for like sexual harassment or something, and then they're like, we have no comment to that. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he and his friends, when they were just getting into the acting comedian business, that's what they would do. They would go on these shows, and they'd come up with these fake claims, and then they'd split the cash and whatnot. Whoever won, either way, it was a win-win for them. It was just like, all right, we go on, and then they're gonna pay up to like $10,000 or some shit like that, or $5,000 or whatever. We'll split it. So
Yeah.
no, I think it's funny. I really want to see a statistic of how many people actually think this is real. Like Springer too. Like they have to be actors. It's just like,
Yeah.
I know humans are animals, but
Yeah, but think of the people that are watching this. I mean, this is daytime TV.
yeah,
So, I mean, it's just a bunch of old people and stay-at-home people. So,
Like
when
the
you're
king-
talking old people.
like the
I
king
mean,
and queen
old-
of England, they're stay-at-home people.
Yeah, yeah. When you think of old people, though, I mean, think of how easily they get tricked. I mean, people scam them all the time. Like, so what's different?
Fucking
They're just scamming people.
fucking Indians love doing that. Not the Native
Oh, yeah.
Americans, the Indians.
The Dodge.
Indians.
The Dodge Indians.
Yeah. All right, so this next one I'm going to show, I think this is great comedy right here. But it's about LinkedIn and what it would be if LinkedIn was live action.
Okay.
So let's get into it. So we got a bunch of, hold on, I'm going to pause it. So we got a bunch of guys sitting around a table at like a restaurant or a bar. They're all drinking beer. All right. And so this guy's about to talk.
I'm excited to announce I've finished my beer.
Congratulations.
Thumbs up.
Keep up the good work.
I'm embarking on a new chapter and will be buying the boys a round of beers.
I endorse this round.
Fantastic news.
Looking forward to partnering with the boys again for another round.
Fantastic news.
Valuable insights.
Big things are coming. Beers.
Congrats on the beer anniversary. Excited to connect.
It is with great pride that after 30 years with my wife Olivia, I'll be embarking on a fresh new adventure.
Hashtag driving change.
I'm confident you'll thrive in a freelance
You
role.
can collaborate with my wife. I'm excited to announce a new role with Olivia.
Fantastic news.
I am also banging Giorgio's missus.
I do not endorse.
My 1-year-old asked me the other day.
Thrilled to announce a monumental milestone.
Daddy, why do you work so hard? I've just shit my pants.
Fantastic news.
Hashtag dad goals.
Fantastic news. Fantastic news.
To get fucked in the pussy race with a big boy.
What are they doing?
He got a job, he got a divorce, and I'm pretty sure that guy shat his pants.
Should we cut him off?
I endorse this.
That's like exactly what LinkedIn in real life would be. Like, that's how ridiculous that fucking platform is. That's
It's
all
so
But do you agree though? I mean, like every time you check on LinkedIn, like it's the fakest fucking thing ever. All these people sharing this stuff in these stupid, like, oh, I endorse, like they're saying, like, I endorse this, or like,
Yeah. What are you, political?
yeah, I'm proud to pronounce that our company is doing that. It's like, it's a different world. I don't know what it is. It's like, if I'm a real person, I see right through that shit, and it's like, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't really think that's cool. It doesn't really make me think like you're the greatest company ever, or you're part of the greatest company ever. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's LinkedIn is so fake, and it's so, I guess it's not dumb because people get jobs through it, but like, it's just like the idea. It was literally Facebook for the professional world. Yeah, and then then they don't add the. I mean, arguably, you could say it's Facebook from when it started. You know, because Facebook started adding all like the features, the games, and all that stupid other shit. You know, and like this is just like there's like an etiquette to LinkedIn. It's like, you know, like, what if I got on LinkedIn and I was just like, you know, just like some of the shit we say, like, what if I'm out there saying Kirk bangs the greens, you know, like, I feel like LinkedIn would just like cancel my account or something. They'd be like, no, we don't play like that. That's not what we do here. We're LinkedIn.
I think it's just a platform for people to kiss each other's ass and then try to get a job at that job because they think that if you clap enough for the same business, that they're gonna be like, this guy likes us on LinkedIn. I think we should hire him.
It is the fakest thing ever. Honestly, it really is. I just like, you know, they were telling us in college, like, you know, this thing might be the future. So I got into it. I was like, all right, you know, I made an account. And I'm be honest, I haven't really updated that account since college, since 2012.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So over like 10 years, I'm pretty sure the picture of me on there is the same. So it's just this like weird, creepy picture of me looking like Norman Bates. And then, yeah, I mean, like, I update the work experience, but like I'll do it like 8 months after being at a job, though. I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess I could go update the LinkedIn to show all the past people that I worked with what I'm doing now. You know, like that's another thing. I feel like it's another thing to like show people like you've moved on from them, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know
about your success.
Like, I think people have the psychology of that, but I think then on the other side, like, people like honestly still don't care. It's like, oh, cool, you're doing better. You couldn't cut it here still, but you're doing better somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So yeah, no, I think that was pretty accurate. Luckily they weren't New Zealand guys, because I swear to God, I would have fucking lost you there. Thank God they were Australians. Jesus Christ, they were fucking New Zealand. Yeah, I know. I'm glad that this all worked out for us here today. So, all right, next one. So the next one's gonna be interesting. This one is going to be a Nicolas Cage commercial. And now this was never aired in the U.S. And I think this is funny. Right. Well, I think this is funny because they talked about this in the show Entourage. So Vinny Chase needed money. I mean, he was kind of between movies and he wasn't getting too much work. I think this was like 3rd season or something like that. So he had to go do a fucking like energy drink commercial. And he's like, no, I don't do commercials. I'm a fucking movie star. And they're like, dude, Vinny, we promise you'll never see this in the U.S. This is going to be overseas, and they're going to love it over there. And so ends up doing it, and that's literally what this is. This is Nicolas Cage just getting a quick payday. He probably filmed it here in the States, and it got aired in Tokyo, Japan.
Mr. Cage, can we have your autograph?
All right. So, you're twins.
No. We're triplets.
Triplets?
Fever.
I'm on my way, Japan. Pachinko wa sanke.
All right. So what did you think of that?
That was just the weirdest thing. I mean, you should suspect with him that it's the weirdest thing, but yeah, that was just stupid.
Like
what was it for?
Senko? Some Senko Pachinko? We'll have to look this up here. Senko, Japanese company, and one of 3 major pachinko machine. It's a machine manufacturer. But what's
What did that have?
What?
What did that have to do with anything?
They were probably advertising in Japan.
Yeah, but the commercial had nothing to do with what that pachinko machine is.
I mean, bro.
It's like
what?
It's like a gambling machine.
Well, all right, let's watch it again. Hold on.
Mr. Cage, can we have your autograph?
All right. So, you're twins.
No. We're triplets.
All right, triplets. So if it's a gaming machine, jackpot, right? What happens next?
Let's.
So you just won the jackpot, and you're seeing everything in 3s.
I'm on my way, Japan.
So I agree. I agree with you. Like, this made no sense. But we also don't know what Senko is. We just learned what all this was just now, right? So I would imagine in Japan, they got this, right? Like, they know what Senko is. And, like, since they know what that is, they know it's related to gaming machines. And so, I mean, like, yeah, as an American, you watch this, it's like a really weird commercial because it's like Nicolas Cage literally did every awkward, fucking weird thing that he's done in every, like, throughout all of his movies, just all mashed up into this one commercial. Like, literally, he took one thing from every movie he did and did it all in, like, a fucking split second right there. But, like, yeah, it was... After we watched that again, once I saw the ladies' heads start lining up like a what do you call it, a slot machine, and then all of a sudden you start seeing these peoples in threes, they're holding watermelons and all that kind of shit. So no, I mean, as us as Americans to see this for the first time like we just did, yeah, we should be completely fucking lost. We definitely needed to do this research just now. But I guess that's what it is. That's what it is. Fucking Nicolas Cage is supporting gambling in Japan. So, but like
that's just too weird.
It was weird, and like literally like the corny things he was doing, like the and all that shit. Like I was just like, why? But like, yeah, dude, that's when you think about it, like it's just weird, like how us in America, like that weird shit, like doesn't really make us laugh. Makes some people laugh, maybe more immature, not even immature people. I don't know. Like it feels like that's like a really like not dry humor, but a really clean, humorous thing to do.
Mm-hmm. But
it's like I feel like people got off on that in like the 40s or the 30s, sort of 30s 40s era, and then like our culture, what we think of as comedy and stuff, has really changed from that weird kind of baby stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like other cultures still like, because they're like behind us, so they're still like finding it interesting, and it's just weird that like humans across the world aren't on the same. Not that like any humans are on the same page, but like societies and cultures are just way fucking different. It's crazy. What like?
Well, what I think of when you say that, think of this. Think of like if you're doom scrolling, on TikTok or whatever, and all of a sudden it comes up to like either a Chinese or Japanese like TikTok thing or like a Russian one.
Yeah.
Where it's like some girl, oh, I'm going to go for this guy because he held the door open for me or something like that. Like the way that the culture is like, it's hard to explain what I'm getting at, but it'll be like, let's say there's a Russian chick with her boyfriend and they're walking together and this and that. And like they come to a puddle and the guy, like there's no speaking in it, but the guy's just like, and like some other dude walks up and like puts his jacket down on the puddle and she walks over it and then leaves with that guy. Like that type of shit is just like I'll watch it. I'll be like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? And then you realize that it's a completely different country and their like moral standards and different shit like that just is completely different. Like,
yeah,
if I did that, like if I was walking down the street, with a woman, and then like some dude put his jacket down for her to walk across a puddle, and then she left me for him, like they're both getting punched.
Jesus Christ, dude. I guess that's a good point though. So, but yeah, dude, that's what people do for money, man. That's what they'll do. Or at least actors.
Fucking TikTok, man.
Fucking TikTok. All right.
Well, that's funny though, because you see Nick Cage doing that, and then like I've always thought of that too, like what you just said, where you'll be sitting there and you'll like see a commercial pop up. You'll be like, why is this person advertising for this? Like, what does this have to do with anything? Like the guy from The Boys, Anthony Starr, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's Homelander.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him on a bunch of like gaming, like phone gaming commercials. And then I've seen the dude from Community that you like,
Joel,
the main guy.
Joel McHale.
He's been on some of them.
I haven't seen that actually. That's interesting.
Yeah, look it up. There's Joel McHale on it. But it's like you'll see like a really high end actor though. Like, I mean, beyond perfume commercials, because for some reason that's like not above them to do a cologne or perfume. Like, there's Johnny Depp doing that.
Yeah.
And, actually like high end A-list actors doing those. But I mean, you'll see some for like Pringles or, it's like, man, are you really that hard up for work right now? Like you're advertising like Frito-Lay shit or, like a Monster or something like that.
Oh yeah, slap into a Slim Jim. Eat me.
God. But yeah, Nick Cage, I mean, he's been hard up for money for a long time now.
Is he hard up for money? I don't think he's hard up for money. I think he just... All right, so if we get back to... Well, if we get back to Megalopolis, right? It was
the worst movie ever.
Right, it was a pretty bad movie. I mean, it was all right, but it's pretty bad. And yeah, it's really coming out. It's like, I think they just made $10 million, and it's been out for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah,
you like nationwide, or no, not nationwide. Globally, it made globally. Yeah, and like the movie probably costed. I gotta look. I mean, I don't really care right now, but I know like there's not a profit there, not a big profit. But yeah, I mean like his uncle kind of like had a weird side too with this movie. Like they have a weird art side to him. Like, yes, they produce, like, Francis Ford Coppola produced some very good movies, but this was definitely his like worst. I mean, I was trying to be hopeful with it and kind of compare it to like some of the weird things that were done in Dracula, but at the same time, like Dracula just was way better. But like Nicolas Cage, for instance, he was an A-list actor. I mean, he did a lot of the A-list movies, but then I thought I read an article that his real passion is for like independent type movies. Like he doesn't really, I guess like in his eyes, it's just like he's all about the art and he just wants to do the art. But like, you know what? I don't know. I haven't really, I feel like we may have talked about that he had financial issues, but I can't remember if he really actually did or if it was just like he actually just loves art films and he doesn't really care about mainstream Hollywood and will do what he likes or what he thinks is worth it, even if it's going to be bad, I don't know.
No,
I mean,
I swear, yeah, okay, yeah, the direct to video. So Nick Cage took on many low-budget direct-to-video movies in recent years to help pay off his debts.
Okay, so maybe he wasn't paying taxes.
2009, yeah, in 2009, after his father's death, he owes the IRS $14 million and millions more to other creditors.
Well, hopefully,
spent $20,000 a month to keep his mother out of a mental institution.
Well, if he was doing it to keep his mother out of a mental institution, that's more for him. You know what I mean? Like, at least it's not him, like, being like a cokehead or, turning into Britney Spears and, like, shaving his head and walking backward.
$20,000 a month?
Yeah, maybe he was going a little over the top for his mother there.
Plus, he had millions in debt to other creditors, so, I mean, that means he was...
and that's what's starting to hit me right now, actually. Since I brought up the Entourage before, I'm starting to realize that maybe a lot of the stories of Entourage are... I'm not saying Entourage is about Nicolas Cage, because the truth of the matter is Entourage... Everybody used to think it was just about Mark Wahlberg, because he produced it. It's about everybody in Hollywood. It's all just jammed into what's his face, Vincent Chase, and Vincent Chase is the representation of every fucking Hollywood actor from God knows what they took. Yeah, but like, yeah, there's parts where it's Wahlberg. There's parts where it's fucking Johnny Depp. There's parts where now I'm thinking it's Nicolas Cage. You know, and I'm thinking that commercial that we just talked about might have happened right at the same time. And they're like, oh, dude, let's write a story about this, you know. And then that's what came out in season 3 or 2 or whatever. So.
Yeah. I mean, it says here in the 2010, so 2010 to 2020, he starred in 29 direct-to-video movies. He starred in 46 movies, sometimes filming up to 4 a year.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, that's hard.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I mean, like, it really just, like, you know, we see some of these actors and, you know, they don't work that hard. You know, like what's his face? Leo DiCaprio. Like, he gets the big movies, they pay him the big money. I mean, like, does he really have to do anything? Like, Nicolas Cage shows the world that, like, there's still hardworking actors out there, you know?
Yeah.
He's shown that he was an A-list actor, and I guess now that I've just learned he's fucked up, but he continues to do it, and he continues to bust ass doing it. I mean, we probably haven't seen a good majority. Like, dude, we could probably spend a whole month of podcasts talking about his movies. But
we should have a Nicolas Cage movie review once a month.
Yeah, we should.
At least.
There's a ton of them.
Or have a segment.
And I would throw a huge party once we get to the last one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would, like, if you fuckers share this and we get a huge community and you guys send $1 to Patreon that I don't have set up yet, we could have a huge fucking party, guys. Of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Just like
a Nick Cage party.
And get like a bunch of what do you call it? Who is that fucking artist that had like the, you know, they'd show like one face, but like it'd be like like 4 copies of it, and like they'd just be different colors. What was that artist's name? He was like in the 60s. Fucking what's his face sucked him off? Lou Reed.
So the Campbell soup guy.
Yes. Like, all right. Let's ask Google, who did Lou Reed suck off? Who did Lou Reed hang out with that was an artist? Yeah, because like they were so like into like Andy Warhol. That's who it was.
That's it. God damn it.
Yeah, we're just gonna get a bunch of Warhol pictures of fucking Nicolas Cage and have this huge party. That would be so awesome. But wasn't there
a Reddit? There's a Reddit post of the 97 Nick Cage movies ranked.
Dude, that's like 2 years. No, seriously. If we just decided to make this podcast just from now on a review of of a Nick Cage movie every week, that is 2 years of podcasting. Right there. To get to the end. That is 2 years because it's about 52 episodes if we actually do this every week. We have a summer break, so we don't do this 52 times a year. But if we did, and we did Nicolas Cage, that would be at least 2 into 3 years of just covering Nicolas Cage. That's what we should have did from the start. And we should have just been a fucking Nicolas Cage fucking podcast.
That's it.
Tell it right with Nick Cage. But hey, you said
what do you think the number one is?
Nick Cage movie?
Yes.
Fucking Willy's Wonderland, of course. No,
that's pretty high up.
Con Air is one, but Face Off I feel like has the
That
meat.
is.
Yeah.
Face Off is number one.
Con Air's got to be 2, right?
No.
Don't tell me it's the fucking. Oh no, you're gonna tell me it's the motorcycle movie. No.
No, it's Pig.
Pig?
Yeah.
I'll have to see that one.
That's on Hulu, so you can see that one.
Okay. Didn't you say you saw a Nick Cage movie recently?
I did. It was awful. So here's the thing.
What was it
that
called?
Bothered me.
What was it called?
Long Legs.
Long Legs. Okay.
So the movie, if I could sum it up, it's a reworked version of Silence of the Lambs. Like that's what they were going for.
Is it a comedy?
This movie. No.
Oh god.
But here's the thing, like this is what bothers me. So it came out July of this year.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, this is the best horror movie of the year. It's so scary and this and that and blah blah blah." Number one, there was nothing scary about this movie. It was just dumb. Like if you think this is a scary movie, you're not smart.
I'm scared of Makia Monroe here. She looks fucking psycho.
She wasn't bad. I mean, the scariest part of this is that. So, Nick Cage's part in this movie is not really. So, think of Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
In Silence of the Lambs, he's not in the movie a whole bunch, right? Here and there, and then at the very end, he's in there. This is exactly what it was, because Nick Cage was the killer. There's no, they lay that out from the get go. Like there's nothing's, I'm not revealing anything. And he's here and there in the movie, and then at the end, he's more prevalent as they're catching him and shit. But he's this like super pale white guy.
Yeah.
And he's got like prosthetic facial things on him.
I'm trying to find pictures of him in this movie. Like I just see this Makita Monroe here. Hold on.
Just like look up Nick Cage long legs. Like it's got to be
more
there.
photos. Oh, these are videos. Let's go photos. There's 143. There should definitely be one of them. Don't show me red carpet shit either. Looks like the movie is like it's like this Makita person got like she's getting like wait, who the fuck is Nicolas Cage? What the fuck? This chick is hot. This does not look like the same lady. Maybe I just don't know who these actors are. Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
I'm gonna share this with you. Look.
Hot. Yeah, let's see what you got.
Which one?
It's the arrow up with the box around it.
That.
Ugh.
There he is. So he's got
does he look like? He doesn't even look like Buffalo Bill. He looks like something I've just recently seen here.
I don't know. He's just got like I don't know. This is what
you know who he looks like
in the whole movie.
Oh my god, I'm gonna find this actor right now.
He looks like Rocky Dennis from Elephant Man.
Yeah, he does kind of look like that. Hold on, there's this British actor, and when they put hair on him, that's exactly what he looks like. He's normally bald. I think he's actually like this cancer patient, to be honest. He just keeps going through cancer and stuff. But he's like this comedian. I'm trying to find him. I don't know his name off the top of my head. I'm trying to think what other movies he was in. He played in this movie A Futile and Stupid Gesture. And, yeah. Anyways, it's not important. But anyways, go on with, yeah.
Yeah, I'll, So anyways. So the movie's, an FBI agent that's somewhat clairvoyant. Let's just say.
Yeah.
That she can kind of see things happening, or blah blah blah. She goes after this, ends up coming back to it was somebody close in her family was part of this like killing ring, but he was the Nick Cage's person was like the head of it, and he's building these dolls and shit, and nothing is cohesive. It's not scary at all. It could have been actually really good. The cinematography wasn't bad. It was like spooky type cinematography, but it tried to follow the lines too much of Silence of the Lambs, and it just never pulled it off. And it was just really a bad movie. Like, there's nothing else I can say about that. So
yeah.
What pissed me off the most is that they went and said that this is like the scariest movie and this and that, and like they were giving it like 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, and like if you look at the audience score, it's like not that good.
Yeah,
like that's one thing that I've been noticing a lot lately, especially with like scoring, that the critics' scores and the fan scores are usually way different. And no matter what it is, and I feel like they're the exact opposites of what they are. Like the audience scores will be really good, and you go and see the movie, and it's actually good. If it's the what do you call it? The critic scores are high, and the audience scores are low, then it sucks. If both scores are low, then it really sucks. But like your Megalopolis movie, I actually want to see it to see how terrible it is. But somebody described it as
streaming.
Yeah, somebody described that movie as like a never-ending perfume commercial.
Right. It was just it was too they were trying to make it magical. Like that's like what I could get out of it. It was like they were trying to make it like this. I don't know, dude. It felt like you were watching a play. Like that, like it felt like you were watching a Shakespearean play in a way. Yeah. But just in a live action movie. And the guy that I was talking about that would look like Nicolas Cage. Here, I'm gonna pull him up here real quick if it will fucking let me. Sorry. There we go. It's Matt Lucas. Yeah, here he is. Share, bitch. Sorry, I don't know why the computer is taking forever to do something fucking ever so simple. Anyways, his name's Matt Lucas. He's this bald British guy, comedian, writer, actor. Ugly teeth, because I'm looking at a picture of him right now. Yeah, I'm trying to think. He plays in all kinds of stuff. He's more of like a B-roll person, realistically. But like this guy looks so sickly. All right, I think we got it. Yeah, here we go. This guy right here. Do you see this? This looks like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
in a way.
Yeah.
If you put that white hair on him, that would be the same character that you were showing earlier here.
He was the roommate of the lady in fuck. Now I can't think of the Bridesmaids. You ever seen the movie Bridesmaids?
Okay.
With Kristen Stewart? No, not Kristen Stewart. The chick from Saturday Night Live.
There's a lot of chicks from Saturday Night Live. Bridesmaids.
Kristen.
See, that's what sucks about not watching these gay rom-coms. I know who you're talking. She played, Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
So Kristen Wiig in that movie was the main
fucking
character, and her roommate was that Matt Lucas guy.
Oh, and then they play that Ellie Kemper girl. I can't stand her.
Yeah.
She played in this show called Kim Possible. Or no, that's something completely different.
Kim Possible.
Different guys.
That's a cartoon.
It is a cartoon with the chick from Even Stevens. I forgot the name of the show. It's called Unbreakable Kimmy. I have it right here. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt came out in 2020. So during COVID, I ended up watching a little bit of this because COVID, nothing going on. Like we had nothing. So I'm watching this about some fucking girl that was kidnapped, lives on a convent, and was told there was a nuclear war and has been living in a bomb shelter. It's pretty much Blast from the Past with BF.
Oh, yeah.
That's really what it is. It's just, but it's like a sick psycho Mormon guy that threw a bunch of these chicks, and they're all wearing Mormon clothes. And then finally, the like FBI raids it, and then like they're so like, what? The world's not destroyed? You know, just like Blast from the Past. It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
So all right. So what do you get this out of the ABF scale? What do you give this long legs?
I mean, watch it, but don't pay for it. I mean, some people might like it. I just, it's being our knowledge background of movies and, writing. And we've discussed this before. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. Sometimes I cannot just enjoy a movie because I look at it from a different standpoint and say, this is just fucking terrible writing. It's sloppy. It's put together bad. But I think the problem nowadays is that people watch TikToks and shit, and their attention span isn't as good as it used to be. So sometimes movies just move really fucking fast. And the cohesion isn't there, and maybe they're just trying to get people to, imagine this is happening, or I don't know. But the storytelling is bad, is what I'm getting at. The writing is just not good. This could have been a really good movie, but for them to say it was the scary or the best horror movie of the year, that's just bullshit. I think that's what pissed me off the most about it.
I gotcha.
So I'll give it a B. Watch it, make your own assumption. It does get really, it doesn't get terrible scores, but it's not what I imagined it.
Always remember, our scores, even if we give something an F, always watch it. You know what I mean? Always watch it. And maybe we're not seeing something you might see, But what we like to do is just bring this shit up, let you know it exists, That's why we do it. We do it for that.
Maybe save you some time.
Maybe.
Some time.
Well, too, it's like
don't watch Megalopolis.
No. I mean, you can watch it. I guess, what the thing is about it. Like, sometimes people do get really hyped up in a movie, and I think sometimes it is good for someone to be like, "Hey, listen, don't get so hyped up into it. Just watch it, and come to your own conclusion at the end." But but obviously we want to tell you, what we think's good, what we think's bad, and whatnot. And we would love to hear your opinions too. So, make sure you check out www.tellitrightpodcast.com. Leave us some comments and, tell us the movies you like too. We would love to watch those. Just check them out. And then if we fucking hate them, we'll rip them apart. If we love them, we'll praise them,
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about a good movie here, there was last weekend I went and saw the movie Saturday Night, directed by Jason Reitman, so son of Ivan, Ghostbusters, my friend, Ghostbusters.
All right.
But Saturday Night is about Saturday Night Live, the show that has been on for the past 50 years, which in recent times has been getting a lot of bad rep, saying that it's not good anymore, all that kind of shit. But let me tell you a little story here. So Saturday Night, again, is about the first night ever of Saturday Night Live. It's the 90 minutes that leads up to it. And the reason why I was so interested in this movie is because I actually just mentioned it a few moments ago, but that movie, A Futile and Stupid Gesture. And that movie is about Doug Kenny, who started National Lampoon's magazine. And National Lampoon's magazine evolved into doing movies, radio, and theater. But movies was one of the biggest ones. And obviously we had, what do we fucking have? Animal House, Caddyshack, Van Wilder, so many other ones, you know. But yeah, like, so, but what was interesting about that is a lot of the people who went on to Saturday Night Live started at National Lampoon's. And another thing, too, is National Lampoon's actually got the offer to do the Saturday Night Live show. So they were reached out basically like, hey, we're looking to do something new. We'd like to have you, you know, we'd like you guys to put together a show that would be on Saturday night that would, you know, reach out to the younger crowds and it would be like this entertainment show, like a variety show. We love your comedy sort of thing, you know, let's do it. But they turned it down, and then Lorne Michaels, who currently, or I think he retired recently, but Lorne Michaels, who is the creator of Saturday Night Live, he was reached out, and then he ended up doing it, and then he took all the National Lampoon guys, because they wanted to do something more with their lives, because the problem with Doug Kenny was he was a fucking coke addict. So, and he also ran away for a year while he left his partner to run the company. So, like, he was a very unstable person and very genius with comedy, but just the drugs destroyed that. You know what I mean? Like, man, if Doug Kenny never died of drugs, we'd probably have some good, you know, fucking comedy shit going on. I mean, he was a genius. But anyway, so Doug Kenny gets passed over, and then they give it to this guy, what's his name? Lorne Michaels. And now it starts the actual movie that we're going to talk about here today. They didn't talk about anything about Doug Kenny in this movie. So it is the 90 minutes leading up to Saturday Night Live. And I thought it was a great movie because it kind of starts off, they're in front of Radio City. And Michael Wolfhard, that actor, he's playing some intern that's trying to get people to come to the show tonight that's playing live. You know, so you don't really know what's going on yet. But then all of a sudden, this shaggy hair guy comes out, and that's Lorne Michaels. And he's just aimlessly looking around, and finally he sees this car pull up, and he yells out, "Andy, Andy, Andy," and he goes up and gets it. Pulls out Andy fucking Kaufman. And that's kind of where the movie starts. They go up into the building. You go up the elevator, and then bam, they open it. You're on Studio 8H. And, like, everybody is chaotic. Everybody's running around. So it was, like, really cool to kind of see that, like, this new show, everybody's kind of scrambling around, getting ready for it. And what ended up becoming interesting is you start finding out that this is not a well-organized show. This is a clusterfuck. Nobody has a fucking clue if this show is going to go on tonight. They just know they have 90 minutes until it's 11:30, and, like, there are no scripts. No scripts were approved yet at this point. Sets are still being built. And they don't even know, even though they don't have scripts approved, they have no idea what skits they're going to actually play. And they got millions of them. And they're like, oh, they're realizing they can't do this in the time slot that they have. And so really the whole movie is kind of like everybody asking Lorne Michaels, what's going on? What are we doing? And, like, Lorne Michaels just trying to get through all this, trying to make everybody happy, give them answers. But at the same time, you have people like Chevy Chase and John Belushi who fucking hate each other, which I never knew this.
Yeah.
They fucking hate each other, fighting and getting pissed off at, like, the littlest things and stuff. And it was just, like, a good look at to see, like, how TV works, because, like, what this all was about, all right, is that NBC was at war with Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson knew he ran NBC. Like, everybody loved his comedy. He made them so much money. And he's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. You can't put me in my place. You can't do shit to me, because if you lose me, you lose your fucking network, you know? So NBC was pretty determined to say fuck you, you know. And so their plan was to produce this show. They weren't actually really interested in it being successful or even making it on air. What NBC was hoping for was that 5 minutes to live that Johnny would call and say, all right, I'll do what you want. And then what they would do is they would cancel the show and they would flip on his fucking show. Because that's what they did back then. So before Saturday Night Live, every Saturday at 11:30, Johnny Carson's reruns would play. So they were prepared to say, fuck Saturday night, we're going to flip on Carson. And that was the other thing, too. Lorne Michaels couldn't really explain what his show was about. He didn't really know. And then at the end, he tells the producer, like, this is what it is. This is Saturday night in New York. This is kids, you know, going out, having a good time, and, like, all this shit. And then, like, the guy's like, prove it. William Dafoe plays this exec, and he's like, prove it. And Lorne Michaels was just like, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to prove it. And there's still like 10 minutes left to go, man. Fucking Andy Kaufman throws his record player on and does that fucking bit that he did in the first episode. Like, it just caught everybody's attention, and they just all stop, and they're like, what? And then then they're like, it was proven right there. Like, this shit's funny. And then they did it. They got the go ahead. Like, last second, they're like, are we going live? And then William Dafoe's like, go live. And they flip it on. And first scene with, I keep getting the guy's name wrong. It's Michael O'Donoghue. Yeah. Michael O'Donoghue and John Belushi. And Michael O'Donoghue plays this guy that's like a speech therapist for John Belushi, who's playing like this foreign guy, and then he has a fucking heart attack on stage and falls over, and then John Belushi doesn't know what to do, and he just fucking falls over. And then Chevy Chase runs out and introduces the show. But overall, man, I mean, the actors were really good. I mean, I don't know any of them. But I really like, so in that Futile and Stupid Gesture, Joel McHale played Chevy Chase. And now when I look back, it's kind of weird. But when I was seeing this guy, I'm like, I wish they did Joel McHale. But then when I really think about it all, this guy, Corey Michael Smith, he played a great Chevy Chase. He really did. Matt Wood played John Belushi. I don't know these guys. Dylan O'Brien played Dan Aykroyd. Some of these people I think are in SNL, but I don't think everybody is. But I mean, do you know that actor that played in The Americans, Matthew Rhys?
Not offhand.
Okay, He's like this British guy or something like that, or Irish, I forget. So he played in The Americans. He played that Russian spy, the main character in that. He's played in some other movies. Like, he played in that stupid, what's that guy's face? You remember that chef movie I was telling you about with,
yeah.
Why can't I think of his name? I always brain fart.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper. Yeah, he played like the rival chef in that movie. And it's weird because he looks like, what's his face? I have it written down. Hold on. James McAvoy. He's got like a similar like complexion to James McAvoy, who played in X-Men as Xavier.
Yeah.
But it's like he's like the Aldi version of James McAvoy. Because I heard of James McAvoy way before I've heard of Matthew Rhys. I just got to put it out there. But Matthew Rhys, like, I was so impressed on his George Carlin impression. He played George Carlin. And I was like, he sounded exactly like George Carlin. And he practically fucking looked like him, too. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. But this was a great movie. No, this is totally worth it. Worth going to the movies to see it. And I want to. The other cool thing about this is I randomly went to go see this, and it was on October 11th. Saturday Night Live aired October 11th, 1975.
Well, was it released October 11th? This movie?
Yeah. Or it said it says I thought it was released a week earlier, but I guess not. I guess it was released that day, and I once I found that out, I'm like, we're in the theater and it says that. I'm like, I look at my wife, I'm like, what? No way. But yeah, that was a pretty cool thing. 50 years later to actually see this movie come out, that was pretty cool. But I liked it. I thought it was very interesting to know that when these TV shows come out, the networks have plans. If you're not going to perform, they're ready to fucking switch over to something else. And but yeah, it was a good movie to kind of see that pass, because I think a lot of people look at Saturday Night Live and they do see it as a well-oiled machine. And I think people saw it like that back then. And to see that, there was so much chaos and so much disagreement and, people just not on the same page. It was really cool to see that at the end they came back together. That was another cool thing. These people started realizing, we don't have much time for these skits, and, it's going to be impossible to do costume changes. They started getting clever. They found out ways to fucking rip off their first outfit and then pop into another outfit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they could do that jumping off stage real quick and stuff like that. But I watched the original SNL episode 1. It's on Peacock. And honestly, the way it was set up there, and when I watch it, they did it right. I mean, not that there was a lot of time, but so basically, first skit, and then the first skit ends, George Carlin comes out. George Carlin does a set for 5 minutes. During that time, they're getting dressed and, getting changed for the next scene. And then the next scene comes, and then they do it, and then basically they go back to George Carlin, who then, announces a musician. They come back to another scene, and, they kept doing that. So, watching the movie and then watching that, wow, they really pulled that off, And when you watch Saturday Night Live now, if you ever wondered about the costume changes, now granted, Saturday Night Live nowadays, they do record during the week, and then there's a lot of things that are put into a production that couldn't be done on a Saturday night. So
yeah,
but yeah. But no, I mean, I'm still their graphics back in the day, how they did effects. I know how to do effects with the programs I use for our PowerPoint, and there's still many more that I don't know how to use. Yeah. But this whole effect, and now I'm talking watching the actual Saturday Night Live with an actual Dan Aykroyd, and there was the skit with Dan Aykroyd comes home from work, and it's something about, well, what if you were to lose your dad or your husband just like that, And then all of a sudden, he's sitting on the couch, and he just dissolves right there. And in my mind, you have to have a green screen, and you have to record just the couch by itself with nobody on there, and then you got to record another scene with him on the couch again, but behind a green screen. But they did this on a Saturday night, so obviously they had these effects within their computers or whatever their equipment that they used, because it wasn't just a small computer that has a list of fucking effects on there. It was a computer that had just buttons dedicated to effects, and you had to hit them at the right time. But then I'm maybe they did use a second camera, and that's how Aykroyd disappeared in that scene. But I was still blown away. How do you do that? How do you do that on a live show? That is so easy on a recorded session, but Yeah. So I definitely recommend this movie, guys. I mean, for sure. It should still be in theaters. If not, it'll be streamed soon. You better believe it. But yeah, I'm gonna give this an A. Since I've come up with the new rating system, I believe this is probably the first A out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, biopics are usually good. I mean, I'm trying to think of all the ones I've seen. I want to see La Bamba again with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah, him playing Frank
La Bamba.
Who played La Bamba? It was why can't I think of these names right now? Fuck. La Bamba. Richie Valens. Fuck, dude. I'm losing it in my age here. Yeah, Richie Valens. He was afraid of flying in airplanes and died in a fucking airplane. Worst way ever. That sucks. And then his brother invented Woody the Woodpecker or some shit. No, he didn't. There's just in that movie, I just remember Woody the Woodpecker. He found him and then he started drawing it, the brother, and he was obsessed with drawing Woody the Woodpecker. And I remember one time he was drawing Woody the Woodpecker and he's freaking out on Richie. He's like, "Hey man, you can't fucking do that shit, motherfucker." Just going nuts on him. But Johnny Cash's fucking biopic was pretty good with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
I fucking like that one. But yeah, check out Saturday Night. It's all in good hands. I mean, Jason Reitman, his father was a master. Thank God he's not an armorer, because that doesn't work. Your dad's a armorer and then you get in the business and then someone gets shot in the fucking chest. That never works out for anybody. But when your dad's a fucking director and directed really good movies, and then you're coming back and you're like, I'm gonna direct a movie that my dad would have loved to have done. And I forget if Ivan Reitman was in Saturday Night Live too. He could have been. I just know I think Ivan was part of National Lampoons for a bit too. Interesting enough. Because they made, was it Caddyshack, or did he jump on with, I think he jumped on actually as early as Animal House. So it's cool how that stuff's all connected. So this was definitely a movie for me that I was I want to see this because I still want to fill in some gaps from the Doug Kenny stuff that I learned. So yeah, man. I think that's our show tonight. I think we did it. That was episode.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it. Yay! That was episode 85. Everybody, thank you for joining. Make sure you check out www.tellitrightpodcast.com, and we'll catch you for 85. It's gonna be Halloween, baby. We're gonna talk about those Halloween movies, those the spooky creepies, creepy spookies, spooky scaries.
Long Legs will not be part of that.
No. But but yeah. Well, thank you everybody. We appreciate it, and we'll see you again. Peace.
Peace.
Tell It Right Podcast.